Hi guys, and welcome to the Rainbow Six Replays YouTube channel. Today we want to present the video highlights of the playoff match between Virtus.pro and WYLDE Esports during the Europe League 2024 Stage 2. Don't forget to subscribe and put a like. Enjoy.
Game yesterday and thought, yeah, we're going to have a piece of that action. Fuse Shield, Blitz Shield is going to prove to be a bit of a nightmare. I think this could be a bit of a 3-2-1. We're going to see the Candelas going in. Shepard, however, does pick up Deadshot. That's one shield gone. As I said, there comes the drop, but Dan is ready and waiting. Virtus.pro maybe looking a little bit more prepared today than they were yesterday for that aggression. Des, as kill after kill comes in and all.
Ignore catwalk by smoking it off and just again Hail Mary it through the breach, which makes me very, very nervous. Here we go, utility coming out, fire in hand as well. The blitz is in, Lasbo already down, and this is the problem that making it look too easy to deal with this aggression. Now Deadshot might at least get a kill on his way forward, but it's been traded out in the process. Pasha's found a 3K sat at the top of red, barely moving a foot. And it feels like WYLDE are already going to bleed down to nothing here. The second round in a row. They've tried to make this all in very, dare I call it simplistic push work out, and they've been punished for it. ENCE, incredible game that he had yesterday. But he's got two players to bring down. Finds one to the floor. That was magic. Joystick, though. Can he hold on here? 30 seconds to go.
It was a great kill from ENCE downstairs, but it's, a little bit frustrating from a Virtus.pro perspective because you feel like maybe Always is just giving himself away a bit too easily there. We're going to see Joystick just looking to change his position, uses that secondary score post shell to come in from the catwalk, and he's now got to find ENCE. He's got to look to make this challenge. The Claymore goes down again, can be a very tricky position. ENCE goes for the challenge, gets the kill, and WYLDE, they've grabbed around, maybe even come back up red stairs, try and get on either side of the attacker, make it so that there's a no-win situation for him. As it was, standing underneath the lines of sight you've made there, look at it. You've just given him the opportunity. You're just like a sitting duck underneath there, and you've a little trick potential to keep that wall shut. And really, it could be a big win for them in the round.
Well, they are angling up for it. I was going to say player on south window is a big one for them, but they've got ready for that. The mirror being taken away, WYLDE should get opened up now. No one can trick it, of course, because you've got this player on the south side of things, so good stuff. And Shepard being removed should take away a little bit of the teeth coming out of this Virtus.pro side, at least for this round. So not bad for WYLDE, got done what they need to. Now it's about actually thinking about the execute, though. As you saw, there was joystick off towards bottom main stairs, bulletproof cams scattered around. Lots of things still impede them here if they're not careful.
Joystick's just going to head back up the main stairs, which kind of nullifies that roam that he was on, keeping himself out of things for the time being. But he's going to have to head back in as the kills come in, and it's Dan and Pasha who fall, all going WYLDE's way at the minute. Deadshot with a big start, and it continues. The diffuser goes down. The space was bought by those kills. Final one to Mowgli. That's going to be a flawless round for WYLDE.
The last two rounds, they started pretty well. They've got the first two, and unfortunately, it's been Joystick and Shepard that have fell foul of that. C4.
Dan's going to take a beauty asphyxiation arrows, so it's just going to prevent Shepard's movement back inside. But what are they doing with it here, WYLDE? They've got to go now. The gadget is working, but it won't work forever. They've got to get in while they've got the opportunity, and I fear they might not have been quick enough. Always manages to get one. ENCE is there for a trade. 3 versus 3, though, and they're just going to have to try and throw this diffuser down. P4, he's going to have to stick it, and there is not a chance as Dan picks up a double. And I feel like without the Ying on side, WYLDE were kind of circling around the top of red stairs. They've been pushed back to a point where there's very little space for them to play. However, Always tries to do something about it. Wants a little peek out of there, but there's nobody to be found at the minute on the main breach. 24 seconds left to go, and WYLDE need to continue this disruption. They need to get VP moving because they've got the angles covered. We can see P4 manages to find Shepard. Always is there for the trade, but 2v3 as kills just start to rain on either side. However, VP might just hang on here, Des. It comes to a 1v1. Mowgli over the top rope.
No one quite realises when you've got Mowgli pulling off his best SCO Auditory impression that there's not really much you can do about that one. Like you say, over the top rope, it just finds his man and nothing really to be gained back from the other side. Yeah, Pasha goes big, Mowgli goes bigger. Unlucky. Closing shot, sorry, to see that one done. That's really WYLDE's like trump card play that they've gone for the Dokkan be called. They've had the Blitz go rushing in. They've been cut down at every single turn, so it feels, at least for now, like BP should be able to hold on. Another kill coming out for Pasha. He started so strong in this game, Tim. P4 gets at least one back, but it's a 4v2. Still, though, about 2 minutes of the round to play.
Yeah, you could be forgiven for thinking that we were in the final 10 seconds or so. Wolves have been able to win a couple of rounds from similar positions. They managed to get one kill back. P4 and Deadshot both still on the board, which is a big positive for them at least, but things just got a lot more difficult as Pasha manages to take down Deadshot. P4 super low health, 14 HP, taken down. Pasha finds the final kill. Virtus.pro, we don't want to be too critical over, you know, the rush playstyle, for example, but I think it's about recognizing when it's not working and making sure you change it up. Shepard manages to catch out P4 there, who just strays into long. Deadshot taken down as well. It's a double for Pasha. He continues in the second half as he started in the first. To use that man advantage to get a successful attack onto a site that really they should be winning.
There's always a point around where you look at it and say, okay then guys, like here's an offer, right? You can be 5 versus 3 with 45 seconds to play. But
always going to be too successful at a pro level because they're just expecting a C4 at some point. But yeah, certainly at the rank level, if it doesn't get heard getting ripped, it quite often has some more success. Mowgli, Acer, they managed to pick up one apiece. Dan does find the trade in the midst of it all, but it does give Wolves a good advantage here. And what it does is it starts. This is how Wolves are going to beat Virtus.pro if they're going to. It's about frustrating them. It's about making them stall out. It's about putting problems in front of them that they can't solve. And right now, they're struggling to get themselves on into sight. We see the utility raining in, but it doesn't really have any success. Lasmo manages to find Pasha. The diffuser does start to be planted, but it's never going to get anywhere near. A nice nitro comes in. Final kill picked up by...
Main Warriors are down to only about 30 seconds here. We speak a lot about this last second execute, this last gasp at an attempt to get the round over the line, because you haven't got real much room to correct any mistakes that you make. They found Dan out here as well, so Deimos going offline is far from the end of the world, but they need to step in and start finding kills. But always there has charged straight forward into his own flash and could do nothing off the back of it. Absolute shutout for Wolves, it appears. Joystick has got all about 5 seconds. It ain't gonna happen. Virtus.pro get the shutout.
I think, you know, right idea from Wolves. Whether they can continue it or not, we'll see.
I mean, what I will give, I think Wolves have definitely found their way into this on the defensive side. They look far more comfortable here than on the attack. You know, we spoke about that a lot back in the first half, right? And overall, the commentary from the second half, the main thing you're observing is that they look a bit more composed. Of the mirror window itself. So I think overall, well played by the attackers. They've done pretty good to get it open, but it did cost both sides a lot. And now it's starting to cost lives as well. Virtus.pro up to a 4 versus 3 and Deadshot equaling things back down to a 3.
Yeah, P4 and Deadshot have done great work there. Deadshot was off in gym, P4 was underneath in lounge, and what they've done is from multiple angles, they've completely challenged onto that lower garage breach to prevent Virtus.pro going in, but it might be too little. It's not going to be enough. Deadshot does manage to find another kill, but he's now 1 versus 2. It will be 1 versus 3 that he will have to successfully complete, having found that first kill, but for the time being, he's just going to get himself a little bit deeper into sight, and I like this. I think make Virtus.pro play this. Make them come out and win it.
I was going to say, I don't know, you can never count. Get shut off. Okay, maybe you can, never mind.
Right. But obviously, Labs is going to be a tough one for them to go to, especially if Wolves have picked into it and they're confident that they can go there and get a win. So I kind of look at this for Virtus.pro and I think, you know, do you need to be getting this map, or are you know, is it sort of, you know, do or die?
He's such an explosive player, Mowgli, as well. Like, it's always fun watching him play, especially when he's finding the right angles to make impact happen. Just like this, has come up behind, got one, and now dips himself off towards the left. The fear that's now going to put in Virtus.pro, that you might find yourself getting shot from out towards this window, is the big fear they're going to have to deal with. In fact, they've been forced to drop away. Shepard's down to 10 HP, so Mowgli there has basically single-handedly undone that entire attack. Wonderful to see.
Yeah, great play from him. And he can move through construction if he wants, if he's available to, which he can. If not, he can switch himself out into the other shell. As it is, always has managed to find his way into the shower here. He stood in front of that Scorposh shell, so if anybody checks the cams, they're going to be able to see that he's still in position here. So being dead at the minute will be able to feed that intel in. He moves away. He's trying to get something done. Oh, he smashed the glass. They'll still have the audio cue at least to know that Always is in and around this area. But for the time being, Wolves are kind of happy to just leave him sat there in the cold. P4 is maybe just going to aggress a little bit and have a look and see if he can just sort of pressure him a little bit. But at the minute, where the Virtus.pro plant is going to signal out that there's a potential plant that's going to go down on the wall. Surely they're not going to get away with sticking it. Shepard does, and that's going to leave us 3 versus 3 now, and always not being dealt with sooner in this shower is going to cause a problem potentially. But Lasmo manages to back up P4, 2v2 now. 30 seconds left on the clock.
Just the one left standing as well. Yeah, Shepard's finished off and Dan's found one more. Lasmo, if you're going to go big, now's your time, and he hits the shot. A 3K in the round. In this game, they carry on like this. Well, it'll be a wonderful start to the series and potentially a 2-0, as the devs were speaking about. The map ban did not seem to really be too favourable to the side of Virtus.pro, and they are paying the price a little bit. I do love Always here, by the way. He caused a lot of bother of being so close here in towards the clash, you know. Well held off by P4 overall, but the man of the moment for me, absolutely Lasmo again, finding a 3.
You see this beautiful shot on the reverse angle there, Lasmo. Absolutely fantastic finish, as you say. Great round from him. Virtus.pro a little bit, and he'll try to survive through them, and that's how they're going to try to hold on to this catwalk position.
Interesting opening on this wall. Is it going to be enough by the looks of it? No, Wolves have just timed this to absolute perfection. And Virtus.pro a few seconds behind the curve. Pasha might get in to try and play damage control, and he's played well this game, but he'd have to find all 5. Of course, Wolves aren't going to let that one happen. They're going to take away
Capital, Zofia.
Yeah, they did try to innovate, and I found that was really good when they were attacking Church. They brought the demos, they brought the Ying as well on the green. That was great to see from them. But yeah, they reverted to some default. Pasha, nonetheless, very impressive, right?
Yeah, we saw it from him. I think it was showing on the player cams how much this means to these players. Saw Pasha smashing his decks.
Either way, we'll see what builds into this. They banned away the Monty, so that blitz that we saw Secret absolutely terrorized Virtus.pro with yesterday is taken away. They're banned and not banned away this time, so I'm sure that Pasha will be happy when it comes around to some of these attacking rounds where he gets to play it. I shouldn't know. I mean, again, they've tried. It's a real good show being put up by Wolves as well. The amount of time that they're wasting, the denial that they're showing, they're making Virtus.pro fight for everything. Any wall they want to open, it's jammed off. It's electrified in some way. It's being protected out by the clash as well. Just again, really running that clock down. This is really good stuff from Wolves so far, making Virtus.pro sweat. They've got about 50 seconds here to make anything happen, and they're already down a man.
Yeah, and it just feels like Virtus.pro are stalling a little bit now. They've got the breaches that they're going to get. They've got themselves onto catwalk, but they don't really feel like they want to push aggressively into site here. Mowgli manages to pick up joystick. We can just see Dan being held back by the toxic babe canister as well there. 5 versus 3, and Wolves are sitting pretty at the minute. 30 seconds left to go. This is going to take a real hero effort from somebody on Virtus.pro. Somebody is going to have to step in and get a 2 or a 3K to turn this round on its head.
And is that really going to happen with 15 seconds to play? Something tells me the answer is a very firm no. Mowgli into another. This is almost a perfect defensive round for Virtus.pro. I don't just mean the fact that they haven't lost anyone yet and they play excellently around a shield. Even with all the work that we've seen Virtus.pro doing, I think they've just played that to absolute perfection. It's quite new to the whole like top tier thing. But it's such a harsh judgment that you get coming in as a rookie player, as someone that's brand new to this tier. I tell you what, Acer though, put on some numbers, but Stud almost gets a second. But Dan does manage to at least stem the bleeding and get a trade back. Now he's looking for a plant to go down. Perhaps where this one's a little bit closer, it was P4, who looked a little bit out of sorts for a second there. Gets himself taken down by Shepard, and now Dan's in for the plant. Might be able to deny this one as well. A good little trade almost coming through here. But with that being down, it's all down to Deadshot. A 1v3. Shepard's had one hell of a round there from deep inside a tank. 3 kills for himself.
They've got to solve. They've just gone straight in, said, look, there's an opportunity here. We can drop this hatch. We can get in. You see on the clock there, 1 minute 15 left to go. Ace is a little bit unlucky in that situation. If he gets himself 2... Virtus.pro got themselves a little bit of an advantage here in terms of man count. Lasmo trying to go for the flank, gets caught out, as does Acer, doubling down, hoping that he can pick his man up as he just headed up there. Maybe they wouldn't think there was a second coming, but they certainly were aware of him. They were ready to go, got him shut down, and this has got to be another Virtus.pro round, looking like a different side than the one we saw yesterday.
Another dead shot stuck in a 1vx as well, same as at the end of the previous round. So not super ideal, but all the work to be done. C4 from underneath is at least one thing. Now he's got 3 more to go through. Pasha at least down on semi-low HP here as well. A couple of bullets being enough, but off towards the right, a yellow ping giving the assistance. It's just so hard in these situations to know where the gunshots are coming from and at what time. Pays the price.
On the fly and forcing them back into areas that maybe they didn't expect to be taking that pressure.
Last thing you want is someone sat inside a fish just waiting for you to come walking on through. So leaving it closed up is not about, leaving it closed for the most part and then opening it later is not a bad shout. It gives you that exit path to be able to get away when these long angles start working against you. And you're seeing it here, for example, with the castle barricade being up. It was looking good, but always has found that long range kill, and the second comes through as well. They've committed 3 players towards holding out here. And
storage, of course, and now you've got that verticality above you. What do you do? Deadshot, he knows he needs to take a risk. He knows he needs to go for that kill, but he thinks he's being pressured from both sides, and it allows Pasha the repeat to get the kill. Virtus.pro take the round.
Not a bad start for Virtus.pro, but down to that last 60 seconds now. You've still got those smokes to contest with. You've still got 2 C4s to play behind. You've still got the clash. There is a lot here to keep Virtus.pro at bay.
Yeah, we need to see Wolves finding that value out of the clash. Of course, bringing along the shield is all
Surely
about
not.
time wasted. They know the presence down in storage. Can't quite find the kill down, but it doesn't matter. The diffuser goes down elsewhere. 5 versus 4, and all of a sudden Wolves are scrambling. Deadshot manages to find one, but Pasha onto Lasmo. Deadshot doing it all with the nitro for the trade. 3v3 though, and one of those is a clash. ENCE manages to pick up Dan. Now that they've got the man advantage, maybe Wolves can work something here, Des, to use that shield to create a little bit of space, a little bit of safety, to allow an attempt at disabling this diffuser. They've forced one out of sight. Deadshot manages to get the kill onto Joystick. Shepard has to hold on, but he's been forced out. Surely he can't get there in time. ENCE just needs to hold F. Deadshot gets the kill, and Wolves...
Simply nothing that really could be done there. Strange round again, the plant even got to go down, but I think P4 especially, man of the moment for me.
Yeah, you know, as I said, they've got to get some value out of that clash. You're essentially sacrificing a gun to going to come for Virtus.pro as they try to get themselves towards site, as they try to get themselves positioned somewhere they can find and execute. They've shown magic already in being able to get that diffuser down. Shepard manages to get 1 kill. Is that going to create the space that they need?
The vertical's doing so much work, or at least so it turned to be, but obviously now Deadshot's managed to return the favor back onto Shepard. Vertical's so potent for this site itself, and it's been like a weird round, admittedly. And oh no, how did he not finish off the kill? Deadshot confirms at the very least, but this is the problem, right? They've got the verticals on verticals, and it's just completely upsetting what Virtus.pro are trying to do. And we spoke a lot about this disruption, Tim. Out in the mid-round, get out there, get busy. Joystick, he steps in. The thing is, let's not forget, Deadshot was up on the top floor. Can he get away with the plant here? Because all we're going to see from Deadshot is waste a little bit of time, make you drop at the right sort of time. If you can scare him off the plant, then even better. But now that he knows it's down to it, here's what it comes down to. A 1v1 and Joystick. It could be that difference maker. That one round you could look back at the end and just say, surely this is ours for the taking. Unfortunately not to be in this case. As mentioned, he did so much work on the vertical there, Deadshot. I'll give it to him 100%. I'm not even going to comment on the fact that it was Lasmo there. He didn't even get a shot off against Joystick, but that's a conversation for another time. But again, huge round.
It's going to have to be Aqua now, and that's where we're going to see Deadshot look to move up. The barbed wire might just give away his presence, though, and he's walking right in to the shotgun of always. But a beautiful double peek there from ENCE and Deadshot to get that one done.
Second round where they get recovered, the second player that gets recovered in the round too. Far from the end of the world for them, they lose one of them on the march on forward. It's ENCE to fall. 3v3 here. Dan holds up pretty firm though. A second falls as well, and Deadshot with it all to do. Finds almost a second, but no, 15 HP. He's not going to have the time. Wants to try and stick it out, and of course they're going to give him absolutely nothing there. You know what? Fair respect for trying to stick. You know, there's basically 0 chances getting away with that. He'll know. I know that Jess has been watching this game. Jess, I know that you're in chat. If you're watching, you'll remember it. Was it Kayak with the gun sip for the finish off? It was Consulate Basement. I'm 90% sure it was. But that was one of those moments that you look at and just laugh.
Yeah. It was.
In fact, no, that's a lie. Always is above them, as you can see on his player card. He could cause a little bit of damage from upstairs if they're not too careful.
Yeah, the question's got to be asked whether they're aware of his position or not. We can see some verticals up there that he could use. It's not really going to matter, though, as it looks like Wolves are going quickly. They're going to drop on into sight. It's exactly what Virtus.pro did themselves. Shepard was ready with the Nitro, manages to take down ENCE. He's going to see Mowgli recovering the diffuser. Deadshot picks up always. This has got to be a round for Wolves here. They've got everything they need. They're going for the plant, but Shepard somehow finds 1, 2, makes it a triple on the round 4. Can he pick up the ace? 6 seconds left to go. That's the only question left to be answered in this round. Lasmo, he goes running, searching, seeking, can't find him. Shepard will not get the ace, but
days of old, Shepard was one of those players that everyone looked at and was like, wow, best support player in the world. And I think over the last few years, you probably look and say, okay, maybe not quite that guy anymore. Obviously, the change between teams. Deimos down to just the 1. Deadshot again been going well this game, but with 1 HP, just how much can he get done? Still 2 trackers in back pocket as well. Pasha falls, Shepard the next. Not looking bad for Wolves here. 60 seconds to play and a 4v2. Tons of time to make this work. No need to rush it, boys.
not the end of the world for Virtus.pro, realistically. It is their 3rd choice site in storage, so you would expect Wolves to potentially come away with something, but that might not be the case. Joystick does get something going with a kill onto P4, but Lasmo out on Aqua. Acer picks up the final, and Wolves, gets himself taken down. Could have been a big loss on the Warden, especially with that blitz in hand, and now only 20 HP. Not ideal, but Pasha says, whatever, I'm just going to run headlong in and get a kill onto Mowgli. Takes down the Nomad, but with that shield still in play, it could be a big loss, and maybe the trade won't be worth it.
Very much deja vu playing out here. Mowgli marched down there and left the other side exposed. There is no one able to contest it. There's a single C4 in the back pocket, a Shepard that can do some work, and despite P4 getting into Aqua, VP have kind of flanked the flank here. I love it. They've read the previous roundabout, the Aqua take later, and then have sent a player underneath. Beautiful read on the game so far. Shepard into a second, and this looks like they might be able to hold on. Another smoke goes down. Lasmo has got to work some magic here. He is the real driver for them. Why the hell is Lasmo on the blitz, being the one to cover a plan? It's what it all comes down to. Coming out for the round, finding his man, finds nothing, but no, finally Deadshot comes up and finds his man. A 1v1. Dan versus Lasmo. Lasmo's on 4 HP though. The flash comes on through. Can't quite find his man. Does he want to look towards IT side here or get his man up? Might be able to get a big revive off unless we see some magic. The push coming on through, sees the booty, shield in his face, can find one but not the other. Wolves hold on, but it's
almost won the round for them. It was a big play up Aqua stairs, but it just wasn't enough, and what a finish. We're going to see it again.
I mean, again, look at the HP on Lasmo here. He gets, like, even a tickle.
That's a huge call to go for that.
No, honestly, full respect for it. Massive risk.
Gets the opening kill. Shepard does manage to find P4. That's going to be the Dockerby taken down. How about this? Always, he's trying to get on the flank. He knows that he's going to be challenged on those warehouse stairs. Is he able to find his angle? Yes, Joystick finds one elsewhere. This looks like it might be done and dusted. It's all up to Acer. He's on the thermite and finds himself in a 1v4. He's got 35 seconds to avoid a map 3.
And he's got players above him as well. I don't think it matters what he does here. Unless he can clear out the 2 players that hang on site and then manage to take the challenge on the vertical, he'll get away with nothing. Cargo side off towards his left. Sure enough, the step comes through. And against what feels like all odds.
Off in secret, but one thing we do like to commend Virtus.pro for is their consistency.
Yeah, that's the thing. That's the big thing for me, and I will always say it, is that where teams, and Wolves were not at the best with their team play, we'll get into that, but where teams are not at the best with their team play, Virtus.pro will always provide a level of consistency in their performance in their own team play.
Went absolutely nuclear today. It's Deadshot doing it, and Ace is having an okay game, but Mowgli across both series has been 2nd lowest rated on the team, and he still stands that way now. 13 and 17 in KD today, 25 to 32 yesterday. If they have, he might be able to get a double kill off the back of this one as well. If they've got any idea, I don't think they do. Just waiting for his moment here. A shotgun might be the one that finds one for himself. No, can't get the second. Dan, in his moment, so hard to beat. And also manages to get the player back up, but it is going to wait another 5 to 10 seconds here. It will slow down the execute and leave the other members of Wolves able to take 1v1s against the other players. Either way, it's Joystick finding the kill, and a 3v3 ensues here, making a 3v2 as Pasha finds one more. Instantly elsewhere, it has been responded to. 15 seconds, and Virtus.pro have to go now. 10 seconds left, no room for mistakes. Every single shot has to count. Pushing in nice and close, they're going to find one. Can they now make a plant stick on the back of this one? Where is Lasmo is the question they'll be asking. He's on the other side of the wall, sprays him, finds his man, and also manages to hold it out. Yellow door below. He's got 2 on top and 2 below. this could get really rough. A grenade might be enough to make him run here. He should be dead to rights.
It's just whether they're able to get the kill quickly enough. Pasha does move in and get it. Joystick finds the vigil of Deadshot as well. 5 versus 3. 30 seconds left to go. And what was getting to a point of thinking, do you have enough time here? Now that they've got that man advantage, you start thinking that gives them the feel of a few extra seconds. It gives them that little bit of breathing space. They've got the diffuser on the breach ready to go. All they need to do is push in and get it down on the ground while Joystick works from the back. Manages to find one onto Mowgli. Virtus.pro looking electric in round 2. It's going to be flawless. Now the IQ is dead and gone. Of course, IQ's range is pretty much double that of the Pulse. Plant is dealt with by Ace, though. Takes down Shepherd. Deadshot's there for Dan. And this one looks to continue the back and forth. 4 versus 2. And Wolves are sitting pretty at the minute to get this one done. However, Joystick grabs that diffuser, moves on. Thinks about sticking it, but comes off as he gets challenged. Deadshot with another, and it's 1 versus 4 for Pasha now.
Really well played by Wolves here. It reminds you so much of watching like kitchen attacks on Coastline, for example. Just everyone vacates the site. You start playing the proximity. You let the attackers in. You let them plant. You play for the retake. You play for the majority before they look to pull off the execute. But the time wasting from Wolves, as we see all back in round 1, can still do so much work for them. A couple of C4s to play behind, and Lasbo finds the entry. Dan falls down here. That is a great start, and immediately it's smoked out. They're forced back. Looking good for Wolves here, Tim.
Yeah, Ace is doing a great job on the smoke. Manages to get himself a kill as well before being taken out, but his work might just not have been enough. 3 versus 2. However, Deadshot is underneath. He's snuck down there again, has the shotgun in hand. They need to deal with him. The challenge does come in, but he's still hanging around, trying to make it difficult. Essential kill from Joystick as he manages to find the man. 13 seconds left to go. Always needs to be getting this diffuser down. People is fighting. Can he find anything around the table? The shots don't land. He peeks it again. He gets his man, but the diffuser is down. And Joystick finds the...
He wasted the time that was required and gets his team the round. Wonderful stuff. Virtus.pro fully deserved that round.
This match is starting to deliver.
Slow nature of Virtus.pro and going really heavy on the drone denial. Leaning up towards the mute and the multi. Of course, the vigil, of course, denying away sight. They can capitalize on the chaos that starts to invite. And sure enough, they get one. There's a trade there elsewhere as Pasha at least swings one back. It's Deadshot taken offline. And now P4's down.
It's the vigil, as I said earlier, needs to be wasting time, needs to be finding kills. Neither is true again. Always manages to finish off P4. Mowgli looking to get aggressive. We've spoken about this over-aggression from...
They said about 30 seconds was enough last time around, and with 4 players up, they probably feel it's more than enough. They've escaped that little spray down that came from Lasbo there for a second. A nice angle being taken up by Issa, but he chased it for his life. And that's the problem they find themselves in. Lasbo will try and do something. I feel so sorry for him. He's been left in so many 1vx situations and just gets bullied. Sure enough, Virtus.pro move up to 3 attacks here.
You know, I commented, let's keep an eye on Deadshot. How is he doing? Is he able to go big? If he doesn't, who steps up and takes it over? As it is, he's a little bit of pressure off for the round. But look at the vertical control that Virtus.pro have got at the minute. They're out opening up absolutely everything. Always manages to take down Mowgli, leaving us now 4 versus 4. They're concerned about Yellow Stairs. The track shows us exactly why. Look at the rush coming down, but Lasmo manages to peek into him and takes him down. P4 finds Shepherd, and Wolves, they might just be able to hold on for a 3-3 half.
That's my rookie. Lasmo going big when most required here. Had a good few moments throughout the series, and it's enough at least to save Virtus.pro away. Might find another one, but P4 wins out in this gunfight, puts himself down to 30 HP, and Asa gets the close. Wolves at least hold on there to bring us that.
Pretty much all night, one way or another, whether you look at it between maps, whether you look at, you know, how close Clubhouse was, a 7-5 win for Wolves. Nighthaven almost came down to the same. Virtus.pro taking the win there.
Master window turns out not to be there inside of office. Instead, it's in the single window. I want to say it was team secret, and they get away with it. They've hard rotated over here. They've got the cover. Another yin going down, so they've tried both sides. They've got the cover below, I believe, as well. They've got the spray down here, looking much better. They've found themselves too. There's a player on the window. It's an absolute slaughter, Tim, but the diffuser has gone down. Wolves have got 3 players still on their feet here. Always might find one, but he's got 2 more to go through. One of them being the 2 smokes in the back pocket of the Capital, the other being the Ying. And you know full well both players are guaranteed, I was going to say, to be on the outside. Just one was.
He can hold a lot of positions from the half wall. He gets held back, but you can see here, he just drops down, gets 2 really important kills that allow that diffuser to go down. And it's just from holding his ground, just keeping quiet in there. He doesn't behind mirror windows at the minute. There are smokes on side, which could be a big help. They'll just block those lines of sight and potentially provide an opportunity to get in and start putting this diffuser down. It's going to be Lasmo on the blitz who goes for it. He needs to clear pillar, but he can't, as Dan is able to find the kill onto him. That puts the diffuser down in no man's land. It's 3 versus 2 as VP just fight from behind that utility. Surely they win the round. Switches to the bailiff, taken down by Mowgli, but the last kill comes in. It's going to be Pasha to lock it out. And
to know that the Legion was still sat on pillar. They thought he was playing a little bit deeper. It's almost like a surprise here that he runs into his man, and if he gets that second kill there, things suddenly start to look really good. But they also didn't know, look, about Pasha, who was sat in behind Car. Like, you can't really plan inside a pillar when he's sat in this position. There's no smokes, there's no real candelas or flashes or anything. Again, his rating in this series continues to be tragic, is the only way really to describe it. Oh dear. I mean, that's a freebie. They've got no idea this is the drone work just isn't there. I mean, yeah, they've lost a lot of drones, I'll give them that, and there's a mute on the field with all those jammers deployed, but you're down to 2 drones left now in the last 60 seconds. This is all walking through blind, and Pasha converts into a third. 2 left standing here in Lasmo and Ace. I don't know, this is feeling really rough now. They might get a kill, but it feels like a consolation kill more than anything else. This would be Virtus.pro pulling into the lead outside of something truly spectacular.
Yeah, it's likely going to be pretty impactless at this point. It's not to say it can't be won, but it is very unlikely because Virtus.pro, they're just going to dig in now. 25 seconds left to go. Pasha manages to find his 14th of the day onto ENCE, and that is going to be the round to Virtus.pro.
An English-speaking team. I'm not saying at this point, let's look at every single player on Wolves. None of them are good enough, because clearly they are. There is good talent there. But as I mentioned, Lasmo probably isn't quite ready for T1 yet. It feels like he's a little bit below the mark. He's playing great this map, I'll give it to him. Maybe he needs a bit of time. I'll award him that entirely. There's some changes that need to happen here, whether it's systematic, whether it's in individual players. I really hope Wolves are really not too helpful to them. Of course, it's the Goyo one burning out here. They did use their own, and I really hope that isn't their own fire they've just jumped into. But either way, it's going to stall them off for a little bit. Mowgli here just being picked up by Joystick. He was looking for a backstab, looking to be a big X factor for them, but I think it's typical for Mowgli throughout this series, not able to have an impact in the round.
Sometimes you've got to try for those plays, but you know on your day that it's just not going to happen. Virtus.pro Joystick here is just waiting, switches to the shotgun. He knows that the pressure is likely to come. He knows that there's somebody on these stairs, and that's why he's gone to CQC. Can he find the kill? Of course he can. It just takes 1 click. Deadshot was on 14 HP. 4 versus 3. Advantage now to Virtus.pro as Lasmo looks to get himself inside. Shepherd picks up 1. Pasha another. It's all up to the Lion, but it is Virtus.pro with the bite as they take
the main breach opened up. We've still got 70 seconds to play. Wolves have got tons of time to work with, but they can't afford to make too many mistakes. That's the big one again. I keep on speaking about when Mowgli finds these entries, it just feels like it's the start of something special. Now that it's the backstab factor, it puts all of Virtus.pro on edge.
He's working hard to keep himself in the game here as Mowgli. He's been a little bit quiet, but he still finds himself 7-2. He continues to push forward. Might just find himself face to face if he's not careful. He's just going to wait for the smoke to dissipate. Moves through, but Pasha's there, ready and waiting. Deadshot manages to find Dan. Look at the denial coming in. It's those Maestro cams that we spoke about, Des. They come in clutch. They put the blitz down, and that is surely all as Wolves just drop. 1 by 1, Virtus.pro need only 1 more, and they get it. They will be heading to Montreal.
Inside of Conch, look, they surprised us, and they surprised Wolves as well.
Their strategies really played into that synergy, creating that synergy by having the Goyos, by having the Fenrir's, by playing close together without gaps, and 1 X factor, and that X factor was Pasha, and you can see it there, like incredible stats. And he was what we were looking for, I feel like, in the craziness that was lacking from Virtus.pro. We said they needed risk-taking, and that guy was taking risk, but whenever he was doing it, he had support, he had intel, and that's the biggest difference to what we've seen from them before.
Yeah, he's the player.
41 kills.
Exactly.
Wow.
He's the player that they look to be that kind of difference maker, to be that unpredictability on a very predictable side. Sometimes it works out for him, sometimes it doesn't work out for him. I think, you know, he obviously struggles with the fact that his team is quite methodical and that he can stray away from that and be the